Damn. Noriega, man, they done got to you, huh? Let's get right into this context, bro.
I just want to be honest. I support freedom of speech. I support anybody, not being censored, but I do not support anybody being hurt. I did not realize that the George Floyd statements on my show was so hurtful. And you got to realize it was the first 5 minutes of the show. Like when he walked in, he told my producer, he said that if he'll stop filming, that he'll walk out. So I didn't want a Birdman moment. I didn't want a Birdman moment with Shaw, where Birdman walked out. So I wanted the man to speak. But later on, I actually checked him about the George Floyd's comments. I actually checked him about the White Lives Matter. But it was so later in the episode, and it was so I was already inebriated at that time that maybe people looked over it. Mm-hmm. But I apologize to the George Floyd family. I apologize to anybody that was hurt.
All right. Yeah, I heard that man apologizing, man. All right. So first and foremost, if you don't know what's going on, maybe you live under a rock or whatever the case is, Kanye did an interview with Drink Champs. That's Nore's, kind of podcast, setup, whatever the case is. He did an interview that got 1.5 million views in 24 hours, all right? That's some great numbers right there, some great ratings. I already know that. That video probably had a lot of dislikes, all right? But it's still ratings at the end of the day, whether it's likes or dislikes, okay? That's just a, subtle hint right there. You could like this video or dislike it, whatever. But it gained that 1.5 million views in 24 hours. However, they had to remove it because of the backlash or the cases. I already did a video on part of it. Make sure I go check that out. Now, and within that apology that I just played, Nore said that he checked him later on about the George Floyd comments or the cases. But my thing is, and what I already come to realize, it was too late at that point, bro. It was too late. Because all of the viral moments, all of the moments that went viral from the interview happened early on. So within those viral moments, the fact that Nore didn't check him, the fact that Nore didn't make him double down on the statements or explain it a little bit more, wait, what? I thought he died, the fact that Nore didn't do that, it was almost like people was lumping him into the same category as Kanye. His silence is damn near agreement. It don't always have to be that way, but in such a serious circumstance, like what Kanye was talking about, the fact that Nore didn't vehemently disagree, no, that didn't happen, no, you're wrong for that, blah, blah, blah. People probably thought Nore agreed with him, agreed with those outlandish ass comments, And here's the thing. Nore said he didn't want Kanye to walk out. I won't lie to you, I don't blame him for that, bro. I don't blame him for that. This is probably their most viewed interview ever. And it happened within 24 hours. The ratings matter, okay? By the way, if you're not really, aware of it, the ratings matter a lot. So he didn't want Kanye to walk out. Even though I was thinking to myself, even if Kanye did walk out, that would have been ratings too. But he didn't want him to walk out. So he allowed him that 3 hour. The interview is damn near over 3 hours, bro. So he allowed Kanye that time to just rant about things like that. Now, Nore doubled down on his apology. Let's check out the second video.
Although I do support free speech, I am black, and I'm with Tamika Mallory. I'm with Until Freedom. We don't edit nothing. I think Envy done Drink Champs. Charlamagne has done Drink Champs, and we literally don't edit nothing. But we will start from here on out because we understand that there's people that's hurt out there.
Yeah, I think it's not a freedom of speech thing, nor it's more like a misinformation.
It's not a misinformation, it's a lie.
It's
that was
not
a lie.
True.
What he said about
true.
George Floyd was a lie. What Kanye West said about George Floyd dying of fentanyl and not the physical impact of the officer Derek Chauvin was just a bold-faced lie.
Comments, although...
All right, man, you heard what you heard what he said. Charlamagne got that 100% spot on. I don't know why the hell Angelique's interrupting like that, but that's beside the point. Charlamagne got his spot on. I don't know how Kanye could say what he said in terms of his knee was on his neck like that. Like, I don't understand how Kanye could say that with a straight face, bro. Like, that was honestly crazy to me. It's like, it's like I said in my last video with this, make sure you go check that out. It's almost like they tried to lessen the impact of what the officer did. Now, George Floyd did have those substances within his, ecosystem. You know what I'm saying? But, and this is the main question, and the only question that needs to be asked. If that officer didn't kneel on his neck like that, would he have passed away that day? No. So, while those substances was in his ecosystem, those weren't the reason he passed away that day. Now, to the freedom of speech thing, right? I've come to realize that, like, everyone believes in freedom of speech. The freedom of speech. But with an asterisk next to it, bro. Like, everyone says they believe in freedom of speech. They believe that, everyone should be able to say whatever they want. But to a certain extent, you know what I mean? And I've come to realize that. Like, this person believe in freedom of speech. Oh, but if it hurts someone, then no. Like what Nore just said. Oh, but this person believes in freedom of speech, but if they talking about a particular groups of people, then nah, that can't fly. So it's almost like I could talk about this, but I gotta do a delicate dance around my words. Like, I could talk about this, but I gotta be I gotta be careful what I say. Like, I could talk about this, but I can only talk about these particular things when I'm talking about this. But it's kind of funny to me, like, freedom of speech as a whole, it's so different now. Like, there's no such thing as complete freedom of speech. I don't care what anyone says about that. No such thing. If you believe in freedom of speech and, the right for anyone to be able to say whatever they want, what Kanye said, you can't be mad at him for that. And here's into my next segment. A lot of people was saying Nore is a punk or whatever the case is for having the interview removed. I'm 50-50 on it. I'll definitely say I don't 100% agree with DJ Academics saying that this was a weak ass move. This is one of the weakest moves. I don't think it's to that extent. But at the same time, I do kind of agree with it. Because you say you believe in freedom of speech, Nore. You just said it. Even though, it did hurt, I guess, the family of George Floyd, I understand. But while you was there, you was soaking up what Kanye was saying. You didn't disagree with him in the moment. And after all of that, content creators, we understand, you posted the video. So obviously he wouldn't have posted that shit or he wouldn't have removed the video if the backlash didn't come. So it's to the point, to me, in my opinion, Nore pretty much agreed with it, and if the backlash didn't come, he would have left that shit up. Cause you gotta think about it. You in the midst of the damn interview, hearing everything he's saying, hearing all the crazy controversial shit that he's saying, and you still decided to upload this shit. So obviously, you was in some sort of agreement with Kanye. And the backlash came, everybody was on your ass, everybody was like, oh, so what, you agree with him or something? Like, oh, you agree with him? Oh, you just as bad as Kanye? All of that shit was happening. And, you felt the pressure to remove it. That's another thing. What is freedom of speech then? Well, like, what is freedom of speech then? If what Kanye said is so controversial, which it was, I'm not going to say it's not, he's still allowed to say it though, right? You limit the freedom of speech when you remove the interview from YouTube, right? So what exactly is freedom of speech these days? Like, this is my last thing I'm going to say. I think maybe in a few generations down the line, I think the whole Constitution is going to have to be changed up just a little bit. But freedom of speech is definitely going to have to be changed. Like, we need a more clear definition of this shit. You know what I'm saying? Man, let me know what y'all think. My main question is this. Do you think Nore should have kept that interview up? Or is he right in deleting it? You know what I'm saying? Let me know what you think. If you made it to the end, I really appreciate it, man. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you. More videos coming soon, man. Ah!